So Miguel, it's been a few years now since you began this ancestral project, this search for grapes. Can you tell us how it started?
Well, that started 30 years ago. A professor of viticulture of my father in France told him that there was a chance of finding ancestral varieties in Europe, and my father decided to try to do that in Catalonia, because Catalonia was a place with a lot of exchange back in the past already, has a history of viticulture of more than 2,700 years. And then he had this crazy idea of putting these ads in the local newspapers, saying,
Do you have grapes?
Yes,
Do you have grapevines?
Exactly, saying if you have a vine grower and find a vine in a forest or in a river or whatever place, please call us and we'll go. No?
That sounds great.
And people start calling, which is amazing. And we receive hundreds and hundreds of calls every single time we were going there to check which kind of vine was that.
Right. And so you were looking for vines that you didn't know anything about.
Yeah, we were looking for vines that were lost and that could have specific properties to make quality wines. No? So after this time, we have found 54 different ancestral varieties.
Wow.
And we checked the DNA against all the existing varieties in the world today. And yes, it's a great opportunity to recover our past now.
So you check the DNA and you know that it's a new variety or a variety that no one knows about, but you don't know the name or only where it came from.
We don't know the name because the old books, the description that they do about the grape varieties is so vague, that it's very hard to say that it matches. Yeah.
So then what did you do? You had 54, so you wanted to... Did you grow them all at first?
We grow them all because we have to understand the properties of these varieties, which kind of soils do they like, which kind of climates do they like, and which kind of grapes, and if the grapes have potential to make wine. No?
Yeah.
And it's a long process. You have to think that on every of these varieties is 2 to 4 years to isolate it and to have it free of viruses, and then around 14 to 15 years to understand well how it works.
Wow.
So a long time.
So now you've whittled them down to a smaller amount. What have you been working with?
Yeah, we have approximately 6, but they are, here we are showing 4. There's one called Forcada that is a white variety, existed in the center of Catalonia with great acidity and very, very aromatic. I think it's a white wine that can also has a great aging potential. We have also the Pirene, that is a variety that was found in the footstep of the Pyrenees.
The Pyrenees Mountains,
with a lot of red fruit, spices. Then we have the Moneo, another ancestral variety from the Penedès. A great body, a great acidity, so this is going to be a wine that can also age very well in the bottle. And at the end, Querol is a variety that we already is inside a wine that we produce, the Grans Muralles, that has already 20% of Querol since 2009.
Pretty exciting to have, these are pre-phylloxera really, or varieties that existed before phylloxera wiped them out in Europe.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, when the phylloxera came, then our grandparents, they start planting the varieties that on those particular times were needed because commercially they could sell easier. But there were a lot of good varieties that were, just lost.
So they went to Garnacha and Tempranillo and some of the varieties we know well, but these were lost.
Exactly. Yeah. Because some of them also the production is lower. Some of them the ripening it takes a much longer time, and they wanted varieties that they could ripe early.
They went for the easy stuff.
For the easy stuff, absolutely.
The low-hanging fruit. Exactly. You've been very generous now. You say that you will share this information with young winemakers in Spain.
Yes, we are already sharing those cuttings, these vines, with other winemakers, especially in the Penedès, because although we have worked very hard to bring them back, I think that this is a treasure of Catalonia, is a treasure of the Penedès, and we dream that in the future there are going to be better and better wines, and maybe these wines can also contribute. No?
And you've been a big force for climate change, so do these fit into that thinking at the company down the road in the future?
Very, very much. When we choose these varieties, we were also thinking about the climate change. That's why all these varieties show like a great acidity. Acidity is the key to balance wines in the future because we know that the alcohol level will probably rise. So have a great acidity is very important. So when we plant these varieties, we know that we are going to be able to make good wines or great wines maybe in the next 50 to 100 years. Yeah.
So you promise me we'll see some of these wines in Canada within the next decade.
I'll try my best.
Thanks so much, Miguel.
Thank you.